What's up, guys? Welcome back for another fit video for EVE Online. This is going to be going over the Caldari battleship, the Raven. I've got this one mainly that I use for level 4 security missions, which is what I'm doing right now. Alright, so we'll go over this clone a little bit. As you can see, it's pretty expensive, but that's not really the actual price. That would be like the fit and the clone. The clone is really expensive just because it's high grade. You don't have to go high grade, you can go mid grade. And then all that, you can come down a grade on all these hard wires. But the reason I do recommend like high grade and like getting at least these hard skilled ones is because they're going to work with other missile ships that you might do. So they're going to work with a Drake, and they're going to work with a Caracal or a Tengu, or so like more things you get into like for missiles, it's all going to kind of play a big part there. So what we'll do is, now that you kind of see the total value, we're going to take these up, because you can also just run this without clone or a clone at all as well, and I'll give you a better price of estimate. So you're looking at about 600 million, a lot cheaper than like a Marauder, and plus this is kind of on the path that you would take if you're training into a Marauder, or if you're like training into the Widow, or you're kind of on that your way, because you're going to you have to have Caldari Battleship 5 to get into a Marauder and stuff like that. And so, working on your Torp skills while you're running this, working on your Battleship and Marauder skills while you're running this is recommended, especially if you want to try to go that route. But we're going to go ahead and go through all this. So, normal, just like a Tech 2 variant is what this really is. So, we're going to run Torpedo Launcher 2s. I run this tractor beam just to grab like specific commander loot, or a Dread Grease to loot wreck or something like that. I run one missile guidance computer too. I'll carry both scripts with me. Precision if I want a little bit better application, and then optimal range obviously if you want more optimal range. And then the Sensor Booster 2. I also carry all the scripts for this in case you need better ECM against target drops. And then you don't really need the targeting, but the targeting range doesn't really come into play too much when you're doing like level 4s, but having the script with you is better than not having it at all. And then if you want better targeting speed, obviously the resolution one. We had a Multispectrum Hardener II, and then a large shield booster 2, and then I'm running a 100 MN Afterburner II, which can get us up to around 370, 380 meters a second. That kind of helps with getting the micro movements inside pockets, or getting from like one acceleration gate to another. And then large shield extender 2s, 2 of those. For the lows, we're running damage control 2, and then 4 of these ballistic control system 2s. And then for the rigs, we're running 3 large defense shield purgers, which helps with our little regen there. And then for drones, I'm running 5 Hornets, 5 Vespas. Vespas are really to kind of help a little bit towards battleships. Hornets help with frigates, which is the main use is the Hornets. The lights are going to help you with those frigate targets. And then as far as what we're carrying, I'm running Tech 2 Javelin Torpedoes and Rage, depending on what range we need or whatever. All the scripts and everything like that. So it ends up working out pretty well. I mean, obviously, you can run the faction version of this for a little bit more punch, but I like to keep things as cheap as possible in terms of running L4s and everything. It's a little bit more new player friendly too to get into the Raven. You don't have to necessarily run torps either. You could run cruise missiles or heavies. So if you run the faction Raven, you'll basically have to choose between cruise missiles and torps. So most of the time on most of my ults, I just have them train into torps. That way when they go into the faction version of the ship, it still applies. I try to stay away from heavy missiles for this ship just because of that reason. But for like an alpha or something that you want to get into a Raven, you could put heavy missiles on here. If you're looking into getting a battleship for like an alpha or something, you can only do up to level 3 security missions, and so a Raven like this with modified for a alpha would be really well with level 3s. There might be some ship restrictions that you're going into with that, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Also, if you're kind of on your way to training into like a golem or whatever, this is kind of on the path. and it, helps you get a little bit used to how all that stuff kind of operates and everything. We're gonna go ahead and this is gonna be a pretty long mission. I'm pretty sure this is like a 5-pocket. Pretty sure this is like a 5-pocket mission, and I actually don't mind these because you get quite a bit of bounties from running everything. I usually just group these guns up in 2-2-2. You can just split them out, but for the most part, we're kind of hunting battleships. They have the better bounty when you're doing missions like this, so I just group them up evenly. That way, it's a little bit easier to kind of get things targeted and do damage. Pretty nifty little ship. So let me know in the comments if you guys try this for L4s. I've been personally using it for a while for these, and it obviously it's not the fastest thing out there to run L4s, but if on the price side, it ends up working out pretty well if you're waiting to get into a Marauder, or you can't quite do like a strategic cruiser or something a little bit more fancy. It's a decent ship. It's definitely worth the train, worth the skilling for it. But thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you haven't already, use the referral link in the description to get up 1 million skill points. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.